What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be hitting you with another Amazon Relay topic. This is probably the second most asked question in the industry, and that is, what is the hardest part about working for Amazon Relay? Okay, so when we're talking about the hardest thing about the job, it's really hard to pinpoint. And the first thing that comes to everybody's mind is going to be sleep. Okay, lack of sleep affects you mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, all of the above. It's going to affect your work life, your family life. You know, lack of sleep is a big issue, but that's boring, and that's kind of the one that comes to everybody's head when you think of it, and I don't want to use that one. So we're not going to be using that today. So that leaves you asking, what is the hardest thing about it? Well, to be honest, a lot of times the hardest thing about working for Amazon Relay or delivering for them through a third-party company is actually going to be delivering the pallets, believe it or not. Sometimes delivering the pallets alone can be an extreme challenge, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, so part of the job is literally problem solving and finding ways to get the job done. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. So as a box truck driver, not just for Amazon Prime, but in general, you're going to have to learn not only how to maneuver that pallet with a pallet jack, you know, say the truck is tilted downhill and you're trying to get out onto your lift, okay, and the pallet is leaning because you're on a hill. This will make your entire pallet fall over. It can hurt somebody, it can damage the product, and it can get you in trouble. Not only that, some of the locations you will go to are literally not able to be backed into. So you may have to find a safe spot to unload and wheel that pallet to the destination with your pallet jack. And, okay, if that doesn't sound hard enough, some of these locations you'll be able to back up to, but not completely touch the dock, okay? So now you're going to be doing something that's a little more risky, but we all do it. Let's just admit it. We all do it. You're going to be opening up your lift, okay, and keeping it high. You're going to back up over where the dock would be and drop it and make a bridge between your truck and the dock if possible. Sometimes because of where you're at and the things you're trying to maneuver around, I've literally had like the corner of my lift sat onto a dock, just the corner, just the tip, and I've like jumped the pallet and the pallet jack off of that. And sometimes when the weight drops off the lift, it slingshots you up. So once the pallet drops off, you get pushed back up because all the weight drops off. These are issues that you're going to have to not only be careful in, but as time goes on, you're going to learn ways and tricks to get around these issues. So a good box truck driver in any situation is always going to stop, look, get out of your truck and look if you have to. Plan out what you're going to do before you do it, okay? You get there, you assess the situation, and you say, okay, I think I'll be able to pull over there in that street and back in there. And dude, I have had to do some very unconventional things. One time I drove over train tracks, and I'm not talking about just, oh yeah, drive over some train tracks. These were completely exposed, like 10-inch tall train tracks, and I had to like slowly hop over like one or two of them just to position myself in the correct place to be able to back through this gate, because I literally didn't see any correct way, and every driver before me was taking out the fences. So you see, you know, all the drivers before you, they're hitting the stoppers, they're hitting the fences, everything's demolished. Well, I might have done something more unconventional. My boss might have been upset and said it would pop the tires or whatever, but I found a safe way to line up and get out of there. Now say I would have got caught on them tracks and killed, that would have been my fault. But I'm just saying, sometimes in these situations, you're going to have to do things that are a little out of the box, okay? Maybe hop a curb, do whatever you got to do to get it done. Like I said, you know, where I'm putting the lift sometimes isn't safe. This job isn't always safe. And some of these places, there's no way to deliver it safely. I promise you. I promise you. East Dubuque is a perfect example. If anybody's been to East Dubuque on the Illinois side, That's the one where I did the railroad tracks. Extremely small, tight area for a post office next to the river. It's, the same post office they've had since like the 1900s, and it's not meant for giant trucks to get back there, but yet you have to. So you're going to have to find ways to wiggle in and out of areas and find ways to deliver those pallets in areas that might not seem so deliverable. Now, with all that being said, that makes the hardest part of the job only as hard as you make it, okay? As time went on, things got easier for me. I became familiar with the places I was going. I knew, okay, this spot, I can't back up to the dock correctly. I'm going to have to make a bridge with my lift. So it was, second nature. I would get there, I'd make the bridge, and I would do it. And, once I got used to it, it was nothing. But the first couple days when you're learning it, it takes everything out of you because you're frustrated, you're confused, you're overworking yourself sometimes, Sometimes there'll be like a little lift. You got to lift your pallet jack up onto to get the pallet into the truck or out of the truck. And that's taking loads of upper body strength, and that can wear you out quick. So some of these places you might have to lift your pallet, every single pallet, and if there's 8 of them, and they're fully stacked, that takes a lot out of you, believe it or not. This job, you do a lot of sitting, but it is very physical as well. Don't let them, tell you it's all just, sunshine and daisies here, because you're climbing in and out of the truck constantly. If not just to get in and out, you're getting out to look, you're doing everything. So, I got in and out of the truck so many times that my legs and arms would be dead. And now, it's just used to it. But it is a big factor. Box truck drivers get in and out of their truck far more than normal truck drivers. And it's the same climbing distance, Another thing, some of these locations, like I said, it might be on a graded angle, very steep angle. You're going to have to learn to work with those situations. For instance, if possible, park going downhill rather than up. Because, it's going to make it far harder for you to push some pallets out, but you'll be glad when you go down your lift. Compared to being on an angle where, it's easy to push out of the truck, but it might get away from you and fly out of the truck, or you stop on that lift and it flips out. So always park going up a hill, or going down a hill if possible, rather than up. That's just one of the tricks I learned. Also, like I said, you can make a bridge between your truck and anything you may need to, even if it's another truck. One time, a friend of mine broke down, and he drove Amazon Relay as well. I backed up my truck. We made 2 bridges basically out of both of our lifts, and we transferred the pallets over. That's not conventional. It's not safe. It's not the way that the lift's meant to be used. But anybody in this trade knows exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to be using your lift as a bridge a lot. And you need to learn what your lift is capable of, because not every lift is the same, okay? I had some lifts where I would stand on it with my pallet and it wouldn't drop an inch. Some of them, they hang, and they're like bent down like this, and you're like, dude, what? Because it's already, so you have to learn your truck, learn what it's capable of, learn what your lift is capable of. When it drops you up and down, does it jerk you really bad? Because some of those really jolty ones, I've seen guys lose their footing and fall off or whatnot. Because a lot of times, you're bending over to hit the switch while going up or down. So your footing isn't very planted in the first place. I would say overall, though, this is going to be the hardest part of the job, is literally how to deliver the load, okay? Some of these places, even in a small town post office, you might have to pull up on the street, busy street, people are going by you. You get the pallet out on the street, and you might drag it through gravel right up to their front door and leave it there. I've done it all, believe me. You might have to push it down an alleyway way further than you could imagine and leave it at the back entrance because they don't have an actual dock. Some of these people bust down the pallets outside and bring it in because their back door isn't even wide enough. So you're going to learn these locations. You're going to learn what you have to do to get the load delivered, because getting the load on at the warehouse is fine. That's all fine and dandy. Once you get to the destination, it's going to be a challenge for each destination, and you're going to be going to like 1 to 5 different destinations per night. So real quick, you're going to have to learn what you have to do at each spot. But I'm going to wrap this up. I think it went on long enough. I owed you guys an Amazon video, so here it is. This is a great topic and something that you need to know. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, come back for more. If you're interested in Amazon videos, there's a whole playlist full of Amazon topics. Go check them out. If you're interested in anything else, I have a bunch of other playlists of other topics. There's all kinds of videos. Basically, any video you could possibly want is on this one channel. No need to go anywhere else. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. I appreciate you watching. See you next time. Don't forget to comment and tell me what you guys want to see next, okay? I know I'm like really pulling these topics out left and right, but it helps if you give me something to shoot for. So let me know in the comments what you want to see next time. Thanks.